Hello, Startup Vision. I'm Pierre Dubuc, the co-founder and CEO of Openclassrooms. I'm leading this scale-up company from Paris, France. We're a mission-driven company, and the mission is to make education accessible.
Hello, Pierre. Thank you so much for being with us here on Startup Vision TV. So you really represent the essence of what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Your ID goes back to when you were 11, your partner was 13 years old, Mathieu, and you have built Openclassrooms according to what you believe in, like no exams, learning by experiencing, the importance of mentorship. So you really put a lot of your own experience and vision into this open classroom.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we started when we were teenagers in middle school, age of 11 and 13, and we basically built the courses we wish we had at school. The very first course was on coding, and HTML was written by Mathieu, my co-founder. And then from there, we built and make this community grow and grow year over year. Parallel to studies in middle school, in high school, in college for over 10 years. And it was just a hobby, and it became the reference platform to learn how to code in French-speaking countries, training hundreds of thousands. And then at the end of the studies, we decided to move into a more fast-growing entrepreneurial journey. This is when we really started Openclassrooms in 2013. So that was 7 years ago. And we started as a mission-driven company to make education accessible and to continue this long-standing journey that we started back in 1999.
Let's talk about that. You know, at Startup Vision, we always considered Open Classroom a tech for good company because, as you say, you make education accessible to everyone. And by the way, my partner, Alize, took some code classes on Open Classroom 2 years ago, and she really loved it. So back to where we were, the tech for good open company, Open Classroom. And now it's official because I heard that last Thursday came out your first social impact report. And I would like to talk about this very important milestone for the company.
Yeah, that's right. So we released the very first impact report a week ago. It's part of our more systemic approach to be a mission-driven company. So we actually incorporated the mission of the company and the principles and the values in our bylaws more than 2 years ago during our last fundraising with General Atlantic. We decided to become officially a mission-driven company. So in France, it's called Entreprise à Mission, but in the States, we have a subsidiary, which is a public benefit corporation. It's the equivalent basically of a mission-driven company. And as part of this initiative, of this philosophy, we decided to basically release an impact report built by an impact committee. So the impact committee is basically the group of stakeholders. For us, it's students, teachers, universities, accreditation bodies, employers, alumni, etc. And they track our impacts in terms of the number of students we help to find a job, number of students we place in the workforce, we train, but also if those students really gain access to education. I mean, we want to be more intentional towards 5 categories of population: job seekers, people with disabilities, refugees, school dropouts, and people living in underserved areas. We want to make sure that we train those people first and we truly make education accessible.
So Harvard and MIT have decided to teach exclusively online for the fall, and we know why. And you were pioneers into that, you know, and you have a lot of experience in that. But I would like to have your personal thoughts on that. You know, do you think we can go exclusively digital or online to study, or do you think that having contacts, making friends, being able to exchange with professors, with live classes is also very important, especially when you're in college, for example.
Yeah, I think it really depends who you are and what you're looking for. Is it possible to take a fully online degree program? Yes, it is. Is it fit and is it aligned to your needs? It depends. I would say, first of all, we need to stop thinking of studying and learning as just something you do in colleges on campus between 18 and 24, because the world is changing and jobs and competencies are changing, and we actually anticipate that at least 1/3 of the global workforce will need to be reskilled, mostly on digital skills, by 2030. So it means we will need to reskill more than 1 billion people. Okay, and this billion people, trust me, they're not going to go back to university or go for the first time to a college and study there for 1 year. This is just not practical, not realistic. So those people will look for a flexible option. They won't be searching for, making social connections or to be on campus and become a member of a fraternity or sorority. They don't care about this. They just want a really high quality training to gain the skills, the competencies they need. If I were 18 again and I was about to think about my own education, like should I go to a college or should I just enroll in open classrooms? I'd say I would probably go to a campus, to a college. Actually, when I was a teenager and I was a high school graduate, the main thing I wanted to do is move out from my parents and get somewhere else, and make some new friends and try to discover the world basically. And this is something that a college can help me achieve. But further down the line, I studied for 5 years. I've got a master's degree in engineering. It's likely that in the last, I would say, probably 2 years, I would have been really thrilled actually to start to study online towards the end of my studies, and maybe do an apprenticeship with Openclassrooms.
It's true. It really depends on where you are. That's why I was specifying, for young people, because I think you're absolutely right. It's a different approach. So you are also disrupting the job market and the recruitment, in fact, because the Open Classrooms proposal starts with the needs of the corporate, which you study with them, and then you train talents to fill in those positions. It's sort of an on-demand training, finally, which allows you to have this great value proposition. Access to job is guaranteed. So it seems to be like a magic solution. How do you do it?
Yeah, so first of all, we came up with the job guarantee. So it means basically if you study with Open Classrooms, we're going to guarantee you a job within 6 months of your graduation date, meaning you're going to have a job that is aligned to your program. So you won't be flipping burgers, you won't be a job seeker. We're going to help you through career coaching, matching you with our network of employers to find a good job. Then a couple of years ago, we even started a more comprehensive, complete approach that is called apprenticeship. Apprenticeship is really the most complete product we released. It's basically a job not at the end, but from day one. We start with employers' needs in terms of the number of jobs they want, the competencies, the location. So let's say your Amazon, your Facebook, your JP Morgan Chase, your AXA, you want to hire data scientists, you want to hire software engineers, then we're going to create the talent pipeline. We're going to find people who are not data scientists yet, but who have the potential to get there. We're going to pre-qualify them. We're going to interview them. They're going to be interviewed by the employer as well. And they're going to be pre-hired by the employer from day one of the training program. And they're going to work and study at the same time. They're going to work for 4 days a week. They're going to be trained for 1 day a week for 1 or 2 years. They're going to get the college degree. and the tuition fees will be sponsored, covered by the employer completely. So it means for the student from day one, you have a work contract, a salary, tuition fees are covered, you'll have a work experience, and you'll get a college degree. So this is a really great situation for the employer and for the student. This is what we call online apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's a great value proposition because, I mean, especially in the situation we are all in right now, and it's so difficult sometimes to get a job. So it's great. Just a small last question, Pierre. I mean, you are in 140 countries, I think. You have a lot of offers, and you're a social impact company. So what's next for Open Classrooms?
Next is expanding more into B2B. We work now with 600 large companies, mostly Fortune 500 companies like Amazon, Facebook, PwC. We're expanding also the scope of our programs. We cover 50 jobs already, from coding, data to HR, sales, management. We're going to expand this. And then it's really about international developments, and especially a tricky part of our product is what we call the accreditation. It's the fact to be able to deliver degrees. Accreditation is country specific, so we have degree accreditation in France, and we're going to be seeking other types of accreditations in other countries. So that's part of our roadmap.
That's great. Thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing all your thoughts. A lot of vision.
My pleasure. Thank you, France.